Hey you, yes you, YouTube's algorithm has put you here and I'm going to reward you for it. I'm going to give you one n8n automation that's worth 2K that can generate an extra $10,000 to $15,000 extra in monthly recurring revenue for any other business. This is great if you want to do lead generation, and I'm going to give it to you for free and walk you through it step by step. This is an amazing system. It has multiple phases and it creates hyper personalized emails and puts them into a campaign. Literally just one click of a button and magic happens. Watch the entire video. It's long, but you will learn n8n and you'll actually have a system worth a lot of money that you can use for yourself or sell as it is. So come with me, sit down, relax, and let's get into this amazing automation. All right, this is going to be in plenty of parts because it's a bit of more advanced workflow, but this workflow is going to take your email list, it's going to go through it, extract the data from in here, and then do research on a business and make it hyper personalized specifically from the business. And then it's also going to craft emails, but it crafts the emails in a way that it pretends like it's the business owner. And will this business owner, considering what they are, actually open these emails? It will then put them back into your spreadsheet, and at the end of the day, you'll have a email sequence with leads into instantly. It kind of look very similar like this, really hyper personalized emails that just happens to go out in your campaign, ready for every business, different for every business, obviously with the same kind of call to action to it. So we'll go through all of it, so it will make sense, but you'll get a full automation that does all these things in the back end and really creates all of this. So let me quickly go over what we need and a bit more understanding on it in the next part. So this is the exact same n8n workflow that I've sold to an insurance business, and this is what they use to do cold outreach to businesses. So it's a business insurance broker, and they've used this workflow as a lead generating system. Now, I've had to redo it a little bit for the training, and I've kind of made it so it's for myself as an AI agency. And it's all going to be, or it is all part of the bigger workflow and the bigger operating system where we actually create different workflows and systems that work together. And this works well with the actual lead magnet one. Now, if you haven't seen the lead magnet one, make sure you go check it out. It's actually not doing too bad on YouTube. I think we're up to 22,000 views on it, but it's about how to create voice AI lead magnets. And it's got Homozy in there because it's really about his specific training, and it's a lead magnet that's really great specific. It calls the person up. So it's a voice AI lead magnet. So make sure you go check that one out on YouTube. You can just search that one up. But what this is going to do is it's going to go through a lead list, and it's going to write really personalized emails on a business, and then also offer them something when they reply. So we'll go through these, and these email copies you can change how you want it to. So this was for a insurance quote for a business, so that's what they were giving away as a lead magnet when they reply. And yeah, like I said, I just had to tweak it a little bit. The timer you're going to change, so consider if you have a lead list of 500 people versus 1,000 people, your n8n instance needs to be able to handle it. And also your wallet is going to have to handle it a little bit. And you'll see these all cost some sense as such because they are your email AI large language modules API keys. And I also have an Apify thing in here that's actually really cool, but it's a backup one, so you don't have to use that all the time. But at the end of the day, you'll have a lead list that that it will actually automatically import into instantly, and you'll have the sequence will be full out. You actually don't have to do anything as long as you set up instantly to run your campaign. I'm not going to go too much into instantly, but this adds your leads into instantly automatically, and instantly will do the rest and send out the emails. But you have these variables that's really personalized to a business. So, for example, um, this is a martial arts one, and it's really personalized to it because it actually says, "Hey, I've seen you doing martial arts. This is actually led by an Olympian person." It talks about their location, and then it just talks about a little bit about what we offer, right? So, um, cold email is an art, and technically, the last couple of years, we would have seen that cold email should be really short, so a couple of paragraphs. But we're really in this wave where we can create hyper personalized emails that actually mean something, and you can get away with writing a little bit more because it gauges the person's interest and they're going to read a little bit more. So not super long paragraphs, but just something sweet and summarized. Okay, so um, obviously it's got a personalized bit about the business and then a call to action. Okay, so and it does three of them with the three subjects that is in there. Um, and this is just some prompting that happens, but the automation part is really cool that I think you should see. So literally, you run this, and it will just import this into you instantly and send those emails out depending on your sequence. So you just have a plain sequence like this. Now, if you've done instantly before, you don't have to write out any of the emails. You can just write a signature if you want to. It's really customizable for you. It makes it really so good. So because there's so much to it, really I'll go slow through this as well. I really hope I can explain it each step and why each step is important. So I'm not going to build it out from the start. We're just going to rearrange it a little bit, or I'll keep it like this. So it makes a bit more sense. It stays in the screen. Else it's out long. Yeah, when you push the magic cleaner button, it makes it all in one line. But you'll need a couple of things. Okay, so obviously you will need an n8n. Now, personally, I think that the n8n from their own business or from the website's a bit expensive, $23 a month. However, you can self-host this for $3 a month. And again, man, I got this on YouTube. All you have to search is Alt Cupman n8n and $3, and we'll show you how to do this for $3 a month. Keep in mind, your self-hosting server is going to be down the low end. So the more strain you put on this, um, the harder it's going to be on the server, but it'll only cost you $3 a month. So if you drag this out throughout a couple of days, put a time execution on here, to do a couple every day or a couple every hours, you're going to be fine. Okay. So, because at the end of the day, these run in your database um, is in fact Google Sheets. So, and I'll just show you this again. You would have seen me go on about this for quite a while now, but I've had this diagram up and we're building these AI operating systems that's got multiple functions with all our different tools. As many tools you can, you put them together. And it's just a day and age we live in where these tools are freely available. It's no code tools. It's made things really easy, but pretty much we have our little database in here. We're going to build some stuff out with this. We're going to use our large language models to do some really cool stuff, especially perplexity. Really struggling to say that. And then we chuck in a instantly in there. And of course, it's all part of the bigger picture where we do that lead magnet. That voice AI lead magnet is insane. It actually calls up, pretends to be the business, and the person can try it. So it's really good from my perspective. But anyway, so let's get into it. So a couple of things you will need. So n8n, you'll need that. You will need an Apify account. So they change it each now and then. If you need to register for the plan before you got the API key is what it used to be. But I canceled my plan. I'm on the $5 free plan again. And it's I didn't have to pay for it. So you're gonna need Apify because we're gonna use this crawler in here. Now, if you don't know what Apify is, it is a marketplace where people have built um functional servers, I guess, and you can connect to the server and it's gonna do its function. So this is a website crawler. So the reason we're going to use this is we're going to get the person's website and we're going to do some um, extraction from there. So um, what works really well with this is already set up. It's pay as you go per usage. So it's really good. Okay, so you're gonna need an n8n, you're gonna need an Apify, you're gonna need an instantly. Now, I'll leave the code down the bottom. You can get a discount for instantly as well. It's up there with my best tools, AI tools at the moment. It's an amazing um, email system. So some of my favorite must have tools, and maybe we should do a video of it, is instantly, high level, and n8n, and lovable, and Claude Code. I mean, the list goes on, but there's the things you can't live without if you're going to do AI and AI automation and AI agencies. I really think. But anyway, you need instantly because that's going to be our email system. At the end of the day, if you're not going to do that, you can disconnect the module at the end and you can just have an email list that kind of looks, I'll show you what the email list looks like. Now, that is the next thing you need. You're going to need an email list. Now, I have this tool in here and I'll leave the link down as well. So it's in here and it's called Lead Sniper. Now, believe me, I have used plenty of website scrapers. This one works the best because it's a one-time price, and of course, there's a discount as well for my link. I'm not going to get rich with these $10 links, but you get unlimited scraping, so you can literally scrape thousands of leads from inside your lead sniper. Alternatively, there's Apollo to use. You can use something like Fiverr or Upwork to get a lead list. Or you can use Instantly. Again, Instantly, love it. You could buy leads there from Instantly. But all these other tools, you pay per lead. Okay, so and here comes the problem. You pay per lead, but you also need to verify these leads. So this works really well because we can scrape unlimited amount of leads. And that's really what I did for the insurance broker, because it's a business insurance broker. So we can just scrape those unlimited leads non-stop using this. Now, however, keep this in mind. Leads that you scrape have emails. Some emails might be old, might be expired. And when you're going to send emails to those leads and it bounces, you get a bad lead score or you get a bad email score. Therefore, you also get flagged on spam. Not only that, you don't want to spend money on this workflow on emails that's not going to be valid. So business has gone out, the domains is out. It happens. People register their business on maps or with Apollo will use the business registry as a scraper. They register a business, halfway through businesses fail and it doesn't exist. Emails doesn't exist. So you don't want to waste money. So you want to do some email verification. There's a lot out there. So get yourself an email list from wherever. And again, I think the lead sniper one works really well because it does save you money because you can do unlimited leads. But make sure you verify them at least. Now, all of that, so that's kind of everything you need. You're also going to need your API keys from OpenAI and Perplexity. So the reason we're using OpenAI, it's going to be for our email crafting. Okay, so Perplexity is going to be for our website web searching. So Perplexity, and it probably runs some sort of large language model in the back end, but Perplexity is really good at getting quick internet access. Now, OpenAI has those language modules. I don't think they're really good. Perplexity is really good for searching the internet for things. So it's a large language module that searches the internet for things. That's what we want to do because we want to gather some stuff from within our business or for the business that you have. So API keys, platform, OpenAI. Buy some money. I just had to put $10 in there. It lasts you for a while. Same with Perplexity. Perplexity, you actually just register a normal account with Perplexity and then buy an API key for it. You don't need to sign up to the monthly programs. It's a once off, put some credit onto your account so you pay as you go. So have those API keys. I'll show you how to add them into n8n as well. So, and again, we'll go through this really slowly so you can get it, but those are the prerequisites that we need. So for this, I just have a little lead list in here. If you are gonna, and we'll talk to it very soon, so all I have in here is I have the name, I have the email, the business name, and I have a status. These are the things you need, and then you need a couple of columns like this, and it all makes sense really soon. So if you have a lead list and you're going to do this, make sure you trim them out to be exactly like this. If it's not exactly like this, it's okay. You're just going to have to spend a bit more time when you go through this build. And of course, I'll show you where to download this straight at the end. It just means if column A is not going to be name, but it's going to be the email, some of the mapping in here is not going to work out. You just got to remap things. So not the biggest of it. However, these columns here is going to be the ones you need instantly, and we'll go through that at the very end. We'll show you how to add the instantly part. This is what I think is the chair on the top that makes it an automation. So just the one click, all I need is an email list. I do the one click, it goes out and puts them into a campaign. Really good specialized campaign. So take a big sigh, think about this all again, go get those things for you. And now let's get ready to go into what each module does, and we'll go through it. Okay, so first things first is going to be a spreadsheet. So it's going to be a Google Sheet. And like I kind of said just before, I've mapped these out on these columns. So it's very specific for it. If you're going to do your own ones, map them up how you want, but you understand that every run through is going to go through in here. Once it's complete in the last module, it's going to change that to a yes, and it's going to add all these in here. Now, what I highly suggest you do is once you have this, you need to come to instantly and at least import this so it creates these variables for us. So go create yourself one of these, make sure it looks like it, add some test data in here, make sure you add real domains though. So the emails don't have to be real for now because our campaign's not going to run, but make sure we have some real domains in here. And once you have it, you need to come into instantly and come and import it. So I'll delete these soon, but when you add leads to it, it will create those custom variables for you. So I'll quickly save this one. So make sure we save it as a CSV. So download as a CSV. So downloaded that. So when you come into Instantly, you're going to import it. And again, I got some other trainings out about Instantly. I can't stop talking enough about these guys. Really amazing system. So I have this one in here. So when you load it up, you'll see it's going to create these variables for us. So make sure you add these to name. It doesn't pick that up. You're going to add it as first name. If you're going to have it out or not, that's right. Email address. And you can have the business name in here if you want to. Email company name. Now these you need to add as variables. So custom variable. So make sure you add this. So I already have these in here. So I already have custom variables for it. But if the first time you're going to import it, you need to create spaces for these. Okay, so you need to remember to create spaces for these. Else, we're not going to be able to use the last module. So just something to do at the start. I don't need that right now. So the start of the workflow, and we'll go through, we'll zoom in a little bit. The start of our workflow is always going to be, how is this going to work? How is this going to trigger? And again, I'll have these ones in here. That's what we'll go through. Our trigger is going to be a manual trigger in here. So this is what this one does. It's going to be a manual trigger. You can add a time trigger on it. You can add just a once-off trigger. It's up to you. So just have a think about this. So here's all your different triggers on the right hand side. You can schedule this out to run once a day and do all of them, run every 15 minutes if you're going to do it throughout the day. So it's just a matter of you deciding what to do. But for this, and when you at least go and set this up, keep the manual trigger in here, because we'll go through and we are gonna, I'll show you what each module does. So I've kept the module code's name down the bottom. So when you add it, it will just be the normal ones down the bottom for it, but we'll go for it. So a manual trigger, because we're gonna manually trigger it. Okay, so the next one is we're just gonna get some rows. So we're gonna get a row in this sheet for us. And the way we're going to get the row is we're going to look for rows. And again, this is what I meant by make sure it's kind of the same. If it's not the same ones, then you're just going to have to rejiggle it. But we're going to look for all the rows. If a status that says no, it's going to give us all the no statuses. And we're only going to take the first one. So we're going to do one at a time. Okay. So it is the normal Excel sheet module. So, and again, if you add these, it's Google Sheets. When you click on it, all the modules come up in here, and it's the Get Rows one in here. So when you come in here, click on the Get Rows one, and this is what it looks like. So, first things first is we are gonna need to have a Google account connected to it. So if you come in here, yours will be blank. You can click on this, and you need to have a proper authentication in here, and you can click on the documentation, or there is a lot of YouTube videos out there, but you're going to need to either connect it by a Google sign-in, or you create a Google uh, zero or authentication to token and access keys. So you just need to make sure that this is connected. And once you add all your Google accounts as one account into it, it's always going to be connected. So make sure you have your Google in there. And then it's just a matter of going for the sheet, getting the sheet, and going for the filters. So what we're doing is these are all pre-filled in. We're going to get rows. So a sheet with a document, we're going to get the rows. And then it's a matter of selecting your actual Google Sheet. So this is this one in here. And drop it down. It will show all your Google Sheets in there. Select the one you need. Sheet 1 is always going to be depending on your sheets down the bottom. And here, if you have multiple sheets in here. And then here's the trick. So what are we going to filter this for? We're going to filter this out with this column status. So we're going to look for ones that has the word no in it. So, and by the end of the automation, keep this in the back of your mind, by the end of the automation, when we run all this through, it is going to change this to a yes. So the next one will be the Sarah one, and the next one, and the next one. Okay, so we are going to filter this through. We're going to look for anything that says no, and that should be it for this one. So options, yeah, that's all we need. A return only the first match. I don't think this is on by default from memory. So we are only going to return one at a time. Okay, because that's what I want. I want the sequence to go through once, then do another one, then do another one. So keep that in mind. You can do all of them. If you have a full list, it's going to push through 5 steps at a time. But when you do this, at the very least, just do one at a time. So we'll do the execute step in here, and you'll see what I mean. So all of that is it found all our David Smiths in here, and it mapped it out for us in a JSON format. So David, email, roofing business, and so on. So these, and this is just a pin data. So this is what I think what makes n8n so much better. Just one of the many functions in make.com. Instead of having to run the automation every time, taking up a run credit, and we can just pin this data in here. So it's going to take this data and we're going to move it to the next, move it to the next. So you don't have to run that every time. Okay, so really good. Make sure you use the pin data option. So all it does is a JSON format. The row is important because we'll have this later, and then it has all these that we can now map throughout our entire sequence. This is what I mean, why we need it and why it's so important. So let's go. So that's the first part. We're going to get a bunch of details. All right. So now from here, what's important is we are going to mainly work with the email address. Okay, so a lot of time you scrape, a lot of time you can scrape these emails out, and you'll get the email addresses, but you won't get the websites. So you got to do a extra scrape to get the websites, or reverse. Now you might find a lot of websites, especially if you do the maps, but you might not find the emails. So either way, you need a domain from somewhere, and that's what we want. We're going to use the domain to do the research on. If you have scraped at Google Maps Scraper, you're going to find more websites rather than emails. So you're going to have to do the extra conversion. Again, I have plenty of videos up on it. It's the Outscraper plugin that scrapes the websites for the email. So then you have both. So if you just have the website, you can skip some of these steps, okay? But for this example, we'll just have the domain in here, okay? So, and again, if you're gonna do the Gmails and Yahoos, make sure you do some filtering out, all right? You don't want to do these for Yahoos and Gmails. However, if there is a website to it, you're gonna have the domain in it. So just things to think about in the back of your mind. This is what I meant, why this automation is very customizable. We want a website or a domain name at the very least. That's what we're looking for. Because that's what we're going to do research on. So a simple bit of code in here. If you don't know how to do the code, you can just head up ChatGPT, Claude, any of it, and it's just a bit of code that says once we have an input from this column in here, so we're mapping our email columns, and we're gonna cut it. So for every email address, we are gonna do the splitting. So we're splitting by the @ and we want number one, which is the domain, and it's gonna give us a domain name. So a bit of code in here. You just ask ChatGPT or anyone to do it, but it's just taking this column, cutting it out, and what we get is an extra field called domain in here. Now, again, if you're going to have websites in here, skip that part out and you can just map the rest out from here. If you need to, you just need to do a bit of remapping on n8n. So I'm going to pin this one again because now we have a domain. So what we're going to do with that domain is we are going to visit it as a command line, and we are going to extract all the text and data we get from it. So for example, this one is going to be, we have Ivy Roofing in here. Now, what it looks like when we scrape these, so this is the website, but your data scraper data information doesn't look like it. In actual, any website does not look like it. Chrome or your browser converts code into this. Now, the easiest way to actually see all this is if you right click on this and say view page source. And this is kind of what it looks like. Okay. This is the data the website server is sending you. And it's pretty out there, quite confusing what it is. But that's what we need. Okay. So that's what our data point is going to look like. So let's close that one, close that one, close that one, close that one, close that one. And I'll close all my YouTubes quickly, just so there's less things open. So how do we do that? It's with the HTTP module, and again, you're going to add that in here. It's HTTP. That other one was just a plain code module. So it's all the names that's down the bottom if you need any of that. So you double click on this and you'll see what it means. It just means that this module is going to pretend like it's a browser. We're going to use the get method because we want to download something from said website. Then we're going to use the domain. So HTTP // We're going to take our domain. We're going to map our domain. We're not going to have any authentication in it. And then we just tell this HTTP module to pretend like it's an actual browser, because there's a lot of websites that's blocking all of these things for you. And you'll see we'll have I have a website exactly like that, and you'll see what I mean. So this whole entire section, don't worry too much about it. It just means we're sending some headers and we're pretending to be a actual computer and we're pretending to be an actual browser. All right. So that's all it says. And you'll see these are default values. Just leave it in there. These are kind of just things that tricks the server saying that we're making a lawful request. And it's getting a lot harder to do these because it's getting banned with a lot of things. But you'll see when we execute this, so we'll give it a second to execute. And you'll kind of see that just as there's a lot of things in here, okay? So it's a bit confusing. And we can cut out a lot of the actual code in it. Now, the way we're going to cut it out, remember to put it in here, is again with a bit of code. So it's just a bit of cleanup, and you can probably work a little bit with this. This is an older one that I use, but you can just literally go and ask in your large language module, say that you have a bunch of source code, HTML code. I just want to extract it and clean it up a little bit. And this is what this tool does. So it just goes through it, takes some of the syntaxes out, and makes it a little bit better. So the less text you have, the less you're going to have to pay through to your large language module. Okay, so I'm going to execute this in here and you'll see what I mean. So it just takes out a bunch of tags and you can actually work with it a little bit more. When I did this video, I actually sorted. There's still a bunch of stuff in here, but you can see some of the tags when you look at this side and here, all of the HTML documents and tags are all taken out in here, but it still gives us some random bits in it, which is not the best, but that's okay. We have the basics, the basic data structure of the website. Okay, so if you look in here, that's quite a lot of plain text. So this is really good. Okay, so I've pinned that one as well. Now, this is where the AI is gonna come in and make things really cool for us. So we have all this information about the website. So let's go write a summary about it. So what is this website about? What does all of this say? What is Ivy Roofing about? So this is where you come and put it into your AI agent, and this AI agent, and again, this will be AI agent. If you want to add that one, it's kind of what it looks like. I need to delete that one in there. But it's an AI agent, and we will just move all these up a little bits for like this. And we'll come move this up, and this up, and this up, and this up. We'll move these in here. So the job for this AI agent here is to write a summary. So you rename this, but it's going to write a summary about the website. Okay, so we can use this throughout our lines. So I'm going to double click on it and you can see the prompt is, it's got the instructions. So the user prompt is to write a copy. And again, we link this into here. So if you watch some of my other modules about mapping things in n8n, pretty much all of n8n is input to output. And the same with the AI agent, we have input to output, and your data formatting happens in the middle here. But it just says that we need to write a copy for all that data set. All right. So all I did was link this and you can drag it over like that. And when it's green, you know it's good, and then it's mapped. So if you copy this over and it's not green, then it's not mapped. So if you have done any of the large language modules, prompting or automations before, a large language module is your basics. So it knows what it needs to do. It can answer and do all the cool things. But sometimes we can specify in what's called a system prompt. So the user prompt is what I give. The system prompt is what we want it to be like. So this is the bit of a magic bit in here, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see. You will be provided a copy. So I'm telling this AI agent, what is your task going to do? And you can screenshot this, write it off and out. But you will provide a copy of a website. Your task is to carefully read through the comprehensive and comprehend the content of the website after analyzing it. Um, After analyzing the text, generate a consistent summary of the key points. And I'll just give it some parameters about how long it should be. If at any stage there is not enough details on the website, then use the website scraping tool. So we'll get to this part really soon. A really important part in here. When creating a summary, focus on the following aspects: um, the identity, the highlights, the application. Avoid using unnecessary fluff phrases. To ensure your summary is effective, considering the following: use consistent, perceptive language, prioritize information, ensure that in summary is clear and understandable. Remember, your goal is to provide a comprehensive yet sufficient overview on the website. So it's just a big bunch of fluff, but all it says is once we receive this data in here, write a really awesome summary for it. So how's it going to do it? It's going to use OpenAI for it. So double click here on OpenAI, and we're going to use this little module in here, 4.1 mini at the moment at the time. It's pretty good. Mini is all we need. And again, you're going to stick in your API key, which you would have gotten from OpenAI platform in here at green. So we're good to go. We are just going to give it a bit of simple memory in here. So memory is just so it understands what it does, because we might have to use this backup plan in here. Now, let me show you how this quickly works. So if we come in here and we are going to execute this step in here, and we'll come through, oops. So it goes through in here, go really fast, okay? And it gives us a good summary of the website. So in here, and I'm not going to map this yet, but so what's happened is it's scraped ivy roofing, and it gets a lot of good details from it, says where it is, and gives a bit of overview on it. Okay, so this is all extracted from the website. So really cool. Okay, so a summary of the website. Now, this is the magic part, is the Apify part. Now, when I set this in here, so a bit of thinking, take a pause, take a break. Some websites gets really hard to scrape, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. A lot of Java content heavy, especially if it's built out with something like Lovable, which uses Byte as such, and React. It doesn't usually, the scraping doesn't work, and I'll show you what I mean in here. So if we come through in here, and we are going to try scrape my website. So what's the best way to do is we'll duplicate this and see what it shows. I'll quickly show you a little summary of this. So if I unmap all of these, so delete that one, we'll come in here and I'll show you this. So we're going to use this to extract the data, and you'll see a bunch of fluff in here, but this is it. Okay, so compared to what we have in here, you'll see there's a lot of cool information in here. Okay, however, these websites, some of them, doesn't have any of that because of the way it's set up in the back end. So now when I come through in here and I go extract the data, you'll see that there's the only thing I could clear out is the heading on it. So what I'm saying in the next module, and we can delete all this. Once we go through and there's not a lot of data in here, I want you to use this Apify web scraper. Now, really, really easy to do. All you need to do is come to your Apify. We're going to use the website scraper, and hopefully I don't show you too much in here. We're going to go to API endpoints. Oh, it hides my token automatically. Okay. So you're going to copy your endpoints in here. And just use this exact module in here, because what it's going to do is it's going to activate our scraper and scrape another way. So this is a whole nother way of scraping with, I think this is done in Python, and it's going to give us some more data. And I'll show you what this looks like when you run this module in here. And it takes a little bit longer to do. Oops, not like that. Because something is not mapped. Oh, simple memory. Sorry, I need to delete that. And we're just going to call this 1, 2, 1. All right, let's try this one again. So you'll see it's going to go through here. It's going to realize that, hey, we don't have enough data, and it's going to come through and do this scraping here. Now let me fix this one as well. So this is just what I mean, that our data is not mapped. So I'm just going to double click this, and you'll see in here the code that we're sending is this one, and it's going to manually put this in. And we're going to go execute this one again. Now, hopefully it unloads. So in the back end, when we come back through here, you should see that just changed. I don't know if you just saw, and it started this website server in the back end. And like I say, it's pay per usage. So you pay per the minutes or seconds that's in here. It's up on one send. And you'll see how it goes on scraping my actual website for it. So it should come up to about the same. And here you can see sometimes it goes faster, easier, or not. And it scrapes it via API key. It just means that this website's rather. So again, I got a lot of Apify scraping videos out there, but this tool uses a specific JSON format. You can cut out all the fluff in here, but you just need this in here. And we replicate all of this by coming over into your n8n, and it's just another HTTP module within here. So let's quickly double click this, and you'll see this is a tool for website scraping. I've copied that endpoint data in here, which contains my API key. So it's very specific to this scraper. So I'm going to come to API key, API endpoints, and is the end data assets. So we want this one in here where we're going to actually fire it off, and we want to get the information back. So it needs to do two things at once. When we did this a long time ago, you could only run the server in the background, but you didn't get anything back. So if you copy this entire one, this is what you will need. Now, if you go into actual testing, let me quickly see. I was going to pause and see if it doesn't. Hopefully it does not show my API key. Okay, no, it actually doesn't. So in your API, or in your Apify, so we'll need to copy that over. You can chop and change the JSON code if you want to use any of these, but you only need a little one in like this is all you need. It's going to go through and crawl with the get method, and it's going to remove some bits to us, and it's only going to do a maximum crawl one page. So this actually has an option to crawl every page in the website. I only want the first page on it. Okay, so to get all this, obviously you can just copy and paste this over if you want to, or when you come in here and you come down, where was I in here? API clients. You're going to come to curl, and you'll see this full curling module in here, and you can actually just import this whole thing into your n8n, or you can just come here and copy it, because actually this is more than just, it's a curl request, but we have some tokens in here. So it's going to copy this, and I'll see how good. Let's go ChatGPT. I'll show you how I actually built this out. Give this to me in one curl request. My API key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the website to scan is n8n.com. So it will convert all this into one cool request for you, like this. And then literally all you can do, if you're going to build this out yourself. So remember I said the maximum pages and to change that, but you don't need any of these, but you can copy this in here. This is another great thing from n8n, and I think Makers just added this in here, but if you come in here, we're going to do an HTTP request, and you're going to say import from cool, and you have that in there. It's going to fill in everything in for you. So it's really cool like this, okay? So just something to consider. Also, if you're going to use this whole entire content, you can just use this actual tool in here. But what I wanted to show you is this Apify that gives a really good response in here. So it gives a better summary of the website. So your actual text response then gets sent back and it has a full summary of the website. Okay, so it's just a plan B module for you to use. Okay, so output in here gives a summary in here. So just something to consider, and to make sure I don't save this one, leave without saving. Just something to consider. But a magic, it happens in here, and of course it saves your time in here. So what we have is we have taken the email address, we've extracted the email address, we've taken a domain from there by extracting it. We've then scraped the website, and we have a bit of a summary about what the website is about. And when we have a summary what the website's about, we know kind of what the business is about. So let's go through the next part. So over pause, have a think about all this. These are all very important, but we now know what Ivy Roofing is about. Ivy Roofing is in Sydney. They specialize in this. They are licensed. They have, and this is really good, 30,000 satisfied customers. Really cool, right? So we now know what the business is about in one automation, without having to actually look at a website. So let's build out and now make this really personalized. So the magic in the next couple of modules, the last part, is all going to be about the prompting. So I'll go through the prompts. I won't read it out word for word, but I'll give you a summary of what it is. And this is where you're going to have to play around with your offer and your call to action with a lot of these. So yeah, the magic comes in the large language modules capability to that system prompt we talked about. Okay, so next part is going to be Perplexity. So Perplexity is going to go out and scan and search the internet for anything about our business. So we're going to have a summary about the business, and then we're going to go find some facts about the business, if it can find anything else. So this is a good module to have in here. It is kind of the basics of it. You can add clay in here, which is really good, but also really expensive. And you can have, if it's going to be a LinkedIn person, you can have a LinkedIn scraper in here. So this is the fact finder. Okay, so for my cases and for the business that I sold it to for insurance, it was really good to looking to see what activity it is. And it kind of comes back things to Google, to caching things, I guess. So Perplexity, obviously double click, add your Perplexity API key, make sure it's green in there, successfully connected. So it does a bit of a test. And the model is just going to be the Sonar one in here. There's a couple of ones in here. Make sure you understand what they are as well. We don't want a thinking one. We don't want a deep research one. Yes, you can do this if you want to go through, but this is not a project that we're going to research. We're just going to want to research the internet. And then I'm just mapping things out again from our previous modules. They're all in here. Okay. So everything we need, especially when you come down to your Google RT or Google Sheets in here. They're all down here on the side. So all I'm saying is this is just a user prompt. I don't need a system prompt for it because all I wanted to do is go out and search for something. And again, user prompt is actually really good. I should probably look at doing this as a user prompt, but your task is to uncover 10 fascinating facts about this business. Domain name, business name, email address, website summary, link them all up, map them all out. So do a bit of a deep dive into the website, explore the wide range of right information. Now this I should probably make into a system prompt rather, and you can see when you're mapping it across on the right hand side is what it's actually mapped to. But this just says go out and find some stats. Okay, so make sure it's of quality, make sure it's well sourced, look for stuff that's up to date, um, explore various aspects. Relevance is important. Um, Clear documentation prevents, if you say clearly and consistently, avoid redundancy, data driven insight. So these are all things from someone else that I actually got, but this is a good researching prompt. So I was looking into some other training and I found a good researching prompt. And this is what it is. Throughout provoking, aim to include at least one or two facts that are surprising, controversial. So really important things. Okay. So a cool little prompt in here. Screenshot this if you need to. But I'll show you what this looks like when we execute it. And it goes pretty fast. And I wonder if we did not map that. So we'll come through in here. We'll make sure we pin that data for next time's use. And it's going to do its thing. Obviously, it's going to take a little longer because we search through the internet through it. But you're going to see it find some data and then it goes out and finds some facts about it. So when it comes to deep researching businesses and people, it's always really hard. And sometimes it's a miss, sometimes it's really good. I do think this is really good. Perplexity models is pretty good. Okay, so well-known facts about the business. So it finds this all the time. So it's a really important thing. Okay, so it's really good about the business. 20 years summary, the offense comprehensive range of services. It found some customer reviews. So really good, right? So for example, so I wonder if I can, let's go duplicate this again. I'll quickly show you this. I don't know if this is going to work. Let me quickly go see if this works. So let me do this. Copy this. I'm going to go back into n8n, do a new workflow. And bring this in here. In fact, I should just be able to paste it. There we go. And we're going to have a click to run. So this is what I mean. It's not mapped. So I can now take this out. Let's say business name. So when my kids go to Taekwondo, let's quickly go through this. And I'll just show you what this does. So we'll see what it can find on it. It should find that the instructor is an Olympian. So let's quickly see. Superior Taekwondo, it finds I didn't even have to tell it the website. So this example, there's no website here, okay? But it finds the website. And here's 10 well sources about the website. Superior Taekwondo is related content. Taekwondo New Zealand. And yeah, it finds the basics about Taekwondo. About the website. It's an RTF one if you don't know. There's different ones in there. It looks at the founder. So good. So right, it's a bit of extra research for it. I know, there it goes. Olympic Taekwondo. It talks about it being Olympic. So if you don't know Taekwondo, it's all about different stuff. So anyway, so good little tool. Does its thing. Okay, so we get facts about the business. We'll close that one. close that one. So now that we have really good facts about our business, and I need to re-say that. Let's go create an email. Now, if you have these two, it might be good enough, but I think the magic here happens down the bottom. And stick with me, you'll understand what they all mean. We're going to pin this in here. So we know the business, we have a summary about the business, and we have some interesting facts about the business. So let's create an email. Again, I said this is all about the prompting in these couple of modules. Let's go create a personalized email. Now, you can literally just, if you want to, say this is email 1, this is email 2, and email 3, and these are the subjects, and map them out. But the bits down the bottom is what's going to make the difference. So, email creator. So we're going to say create an email from what we have, and then in here I have the system prompt and I have the user prompt. So it for some reason switches this up, but this is going to be the system prompt. Usually it's top to bottom, bottom to top, but I'm just giving a really good example about how to prompt and what to prompt for and create the email. But this is where you need to put your call to action and offer in here. So this is going to be a free insurance quote for the business. For my one in here, I want to ask them if they want to hear a quick voice demo. Okay, so your role, you're going to create emails. Okay. And I'm really talking here about my voice AI agents. I want them to call it out. I want to tell them it's just a quick form to it. It's only going to, so a big thing about emails, it's not going to take very long. It's only going to take you 3 minutes. Just click on the link, fill it out, 3 minutes only. Okay. So just about a bit of prompting happening in here. So the output that I want, the only part of the email that you should change systems, insert company name, and some facts about the business. All right. The one-liner relates to the business, should show that we have done some research. Example, congratulations on winning this. Well done for that. Make it sound human. The output should be in plain text. That sometimes they give you the output in HTML. We don't want HTML texts, especially when you're gonna do email. I don't think your first cold email should be in HTML, so make sure you take that out. I will add my own signature later because we're gonna use our own signature and instantly. So don't sign it off. And I just keep hammering on with this. Sometimes it gets confusing. And then the user prompt is I just map it out. This is the business name. This is some facts about the business. This is about the business. Please go write out some details for us. And then in here, it will go out and write an example message. Okay. So it comes up with, it takes all the facts because we asked for 10 facts. Then it takes about the business and it writes an email copy specifically for us. And this is where it comes up. Hey, I have everything I noticed you've served over. So this has come up quite a lot. Okay. So your large language module would have seen that this 30,000 satisfied customers is quite a big thing because obviously it finds it on the website. It finds it when it does the searches on it. So yeah, so it writes a pretty good liner. And then it makes it really specific to our offer. Okay, so it talks about the offer and then a call to action to it. Let me know if you're interested in the demo this weekend because we're heading up in the weekend. So yeah, really good, really interesting. And it creates a first email for us. So first email for us. And I'll map these out. Now, again, you can chuck these out straight through, put it in, map it out to your sheet, and it will be okay. You can ask us to create your different subjects to it, and that's okay too. However, we're just gonna, this is the magic parts, I think. So this is a special sauce, bit of magic, and this makes it awesome. Special magic sauce, that's awesome. All right. So let's create some subjects, and again, this comes into the prompting. And here, you are an awesome bot. You are going to create a bunch of cool subjects for us. That's these are the so cold emails. People are going to click on the subject because there's some FOMO, there's some personalization. Avoid clickbait. Um, right. So let's give us 10 subjects, and this comes into here. You'll see why it doesn't make sense. It's going to be part of the next part. So we're going to hit this in here, and it's going to execute this, and it's going to give us 10 FOMO emaily call prompts. And it is taking its time. All right, so here we go. Prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3, grow your sales video. So this is where it's going to be good. They don't, I bet a roofing business does not have a sales video. Anyway, so we have 10 prompts in here. Map that out. Now, these are going to be the cool parts. So, these little AI phrasing tools makes it really good because we have this output structure here, which is going to be really important for us. And I'll show you. So these are a little bit different than just adding these. So if you wanted to add perplexity, and I'll just hit the save button there for a second. If you wanted to add perplexity, it's just a perplexity model, and you add the model in here. Likewise, if you want to do OpenAI, all their modules are in here. OpenAI, you just add their module. So it's got different functions that you just add. Where's the chat to create an assistant, message an assistant. So for some reason, these are a little bit bigger in here. And it's got the tools and the memory in here. So these are really good. So it's kind of like the AI assistant, right? So they need that one. But this is going to be a chain. If you just look up chain, does it show basic language chain? So come in here, and we're gonna have this is what it looks like, and I'll show you how to add this. All it means is it's gonna output a JSON format for us that we can map. Okay, you'll see where it looks. Stick with me. What this does is we are gonna use OpenAI to create some cool stuff for us that outputs it in a specific way. And I'm sure you can do it with the other module as well. I just chose to use this. So what I'm essentially going to tell these 3 things to do is I want you to, because we now know what the business is about. We have the business summary, we have the business niche, and we have the email, and we have a couple of subject lines. So what this does is why I say this is so good, Magic Special Sauce, is I'm going to tell it that you are the business owner of said business. Link those fields. I want you to pretend that you get this email. Improve this email. This is a good email. What do you think about it? Improve it, make it better. So if someone like you gets it, they'll actually open it. Okay, and that's all it says. Like I said again, these last ones is all about the prompting. So the user prompt, so the suggested emails, and then this is going to be the 10 subject lines. So that's what I put into it, and I'll tell it who and what are you. I said you're an AI assistant embodying the personality of said business name, because I again link it up. I drag them through it. If any of these are red, it just means that you have missed this. Okay, so it's just all from in here. Or from in here. So you are a business owner of a roofing business. Your business roofing is best summarized as Ivy Roofing. This is actually wrong in here. Your business, and I'm gonna come here and remap that one. And in fact, it doesn't have the business name. It just has the niche. I actually should remap that, but that's okay. So your business is summarized as iVerything is a specialist in Sydney. So it kind of says that in here in the next tab anyway. A bit of what you do, because we have that business summary that we have done in here. Your task is to analyze a proposed email and a list of 10 subject lines. Pretend that you are this person, and improve the email for us. And I want you to output it so it's really specific to roofing. So I just mapped the roofing in the previous sheet in here. Um, and I want you to give the output in JSON format. Okay, so you can pause this, read through it. But like I said, all it says is really concentrate and pretend that you are a roofing business owner. Who is this? Read the email and try and improve it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So let's hit the output in here. So it's just a bit of extras to it. And then the next two actually just builds in from it, and you'll see from it. So yeah, it just improves it a little bit and then gives us the specific subject line. So this is what makes it really good. Can IV Roofing handle more jobs even after hours? So voice AI for my voice AI business, after hours missed calls, play effects. So really good, and it adds it into a question, which is really good as well. So yeah, really good. A bit of editing to it. You focus on delivering. If you're interested, trying to do a demo this week. So let's quickly see. It looks kind of very similar. The voice I can handle after hours. It does look very similar. I'm gonna go for read it word for word. When you test this out, you can. No, there's some differences. Before you can change your sales game, need a quick sale tip. Here's a quick video. Okay, so it does change it a little bit. Okay, so yeah, a good thing to have. Let's pretend you're the business owner, see how it does. Now, the next two is going to be the same. I'm going to skip over those because you don't need to worry about those too much. And all it says is you are an AI assistant. You've just received the other email. Now, what would a good follow-up email be to them? So email 1, email 2. What would a good email number 2 look like if you are this business owner, if you maybe missed the email? Because remember, email sequence, we're going to send a campaign. Email 1, a couple of days later, going to be, hey, have you seen this? And email 3 is like, hey, final reminder of this, okay? So it gives us the email. So it takes the email from the previous module, maps it in, pretending you're business owner. Hey, what do you have afterwards? And I'll go through and show what it shows. And here you go. So, hey, I just want to follow up with my previous email over the voice solution. So done. So you have an email 1 done, email 2 done, and that's going to be all part of your campaign. So when you come out, get your campaign, email 1, email 2, email 3. So this is what we want, and it's just created those for us. And again, it outputs it in a JSON format. And the reason we output things in a JSON format, so when you scroll down here and just move this over a little bit, when we go, these are all JSON formats. So if you look on the left hand side, that is a JSON format, and the subject line in here. So remember I said give us 10 subject lines. So it gives all 10 subject lines in one format. However, if we go to where's email 1 tool? Oh, sorry, email 1 tool is right here in the top. Must look that. So it didn't combine them. So now we can actually have a full map of this. Okay. So it splits them up so we can map them out later, and you'll see it's going to happen. Number 3 is going to be a third follow-up. Same thing. What would be a third follow-up to it? It's going to say all this in here, and we'll map this. And hey, let's reach out one more time. It's your final time. Please check your email. And then what we're going to do is we are going to now input this into our spreadsheet. So this is what our spreadsheet looks like at the moment. So again, it's going to be an ad, and it's going to be Google Sheet. and the sheet is going to be updated row. And all we're going to say is we're going to map this all the way from the start. So I'm going to shut all these in here. I'll just move my face this side for a second. All I'm going to say, Google Sheet again. What sheet are we going to do? We're going to update a row. I'm going to select that email sheet that I have. We're going to say we're going to map these rows out manually. What are we going to map it on? The row number. Okay. So row number, how is that assigned? We're assigning row number. So we're going to search for the row number. Now, remember when we did it the very first time, it gives us a row number. So when it scans through the website, finds everyone that says no, it finds this line, it says line number 1, or your result is from row 2. So row 2, let's update some things in row 2. The things we're going to update is we're going to change the status to status is yes, and then we're just going to map those out. So we have email 1. So this is an important tip actually. So pause for a second. You need to rename these. So either right click, rename them, or rename them in here, which is really good because now we want to map them out. If you just have this as a large language module in here, if you're going to build this out yourself, you're not going to know which one of these are the right ones. So I can see in here, so I got email 1. I can change my head back to the side for a second. I can see that email 1 is going to come from email 1. So I can copy the body and add it to subject 1. So email subject 1, body 1, come to number 2, number 3. So let's hit the execute step. Quickly try and move this over. And there does it. All on autopilot. And it's changed the status to yes. Can Ivy Roofing, email subject, email subjects, click. So awesome. So it all does that all in one go, does the research, and now you'll see if we run this again. So it's changed that to number 2. So if we run this one again, it should find row number 3, and it's going to be the landscaping one. Okay, so hope that part made sense. All right, so if you don't have instantly, if you're going to use something like high level footers or anything else, anywhere or any email outreach program that you can have these custom variables for is what's going to make it really cool and really awesome about this. And almost this is going to be done. So to keep this in the spirit of full automation, you just going to now connect all this up to instantly and add people into your email campaign. Now, again, if you don't know how instantly works, once you have an email campaign running, when you add leads, it will just add them. You add leads to a campaign and it will just happen automatically. So the more leads you add, the more you will go in through and add them in. They will just be added into your campaign. So it goes into the bucket and the bucket just drips them out. Email 1, email 2, email 3, day 1, day 2, day 3. So again, instantly amazing little tool. So let me I'm going to quickly pause, just take my API key out in this one. But what we want to do is we want to, what did I just do? I just messed all that part up. So, I'll have to go through and do the entire thing again. So in fact, I'll unmap this. Let me unpin everything and then run it. As by the way, a quick easy tip is just to you click on the module and you just click P. Might as well just show you this. So I'm just clicking P and it unpins everything. Now I can just go through and execute workflow. And it should come and do the second one. So by the way, these aren't real people. Those are real domains, but obviously not real people. So we'll give it there in a second. It does the research here. Didn't need to do this. In fact, I pinned the data in here. So I need to stop this. See, make a little mistake in here. Get the wrong data in there. So this would have gone through and gone through roofing again. Yeah, see. So make sure you check them out. And we go again. So now it should do the landscaping part. And we'll go through as it does all this nice landscaping. See if it finds some interesting facts about this. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So these are all things. Definitely talk about this. This is a great opener for an email. Whereas the clients that deserve. Yeah, anyway, does that. Does the email. Let's hold this open. And bam, in here. Cool. So it's done that. So right. So in added a good email, trimscapes. Nice. So awesome part. So let me zoom in. And I need to remember to map this part out. So I'm gonna hit the save button for a second. And I'm gonna come through in here. Now I need to go back through and quickly pin stuff. P P P P P P P. Right. So opened. So how do we get this into instantly? So hopefully I go through and not show you too many of my things in here, but what we need is an instantly. So you're going to open up instantly. So I just had to double check, make sure I didn't show it. Sometimes, or a lot of times now, websites actually do blank out API keys. However, it does not do it in n8n. So I'll show you exactly again where, especially when you add the API key into the header. But anyway, you're going to come to instantly, you're going to come down to your account, you're going to come to settings, you're going to come to integrations, and you're going to get yourself an API key. It's API key version 2 in it. Now, there's some documentations that I had to go through to make sure that we send through the right request. You can look those up as well. It's in the instantly API documentation. But what we all do, what all n8n modular things is about, it's all about actual HTTP requests, sending data backwards and forwards. So you either have a URL plus a API key, and then within the header of that request, we are sending some parameters, and then we're also sending a bit of a payload. So you need to figure out what those are, and that's what they all are, backwards and forwards. So even if your instantly does not have, or even if your n8n, I'm sure it's the same for make.com, does not have a module, it will be an HTTP request to be able to do it if said business has it. So in this one, we are sending through your API key, then you are also sending through your campaign ID, which is in your URL in the top. So kind of it's quite a bit off the screen here for me, but in our URL in the top, it has a unique number, which is going to be your campaign ID. And then, like I said before, we need to make sure we have these custom variables in here. Email 1, email 2, email 3. So we need to have those custom variables pre-mapped in there. And then what I actually should do is I need to delete these. So I got the example one. See how I made an example one? Do exactly the same. So come through in here, delete those in here. So you actually just have the one, nothing in here. So what I need to do now is come to instantly create a new HTTP module. So it's just again plus HTTP module, and then this from the n8 or the instantly documentation, it is literally just, it's going to be a post because we posting stuff on a board, we're getting stuff back. This is going to be the URL that you're posting it to, and you're going to authenticate by bearer. So authentication. So remember I said we send some stuff in the header, and what we're sending in the header is exactly the authorization, and your API key will go in here. Let me just link this one up. So your API key will go in here. Then the payload that we're going to send is, we're just going to map them all out. And the first ones I got from Instantly, and then the custom variables is the ones that we're putting in. So email, and I just drag through the emails in here. So I'll make you Google spreadsheet. You can either get it from the spreadsheet or from in here. It doesn't matter. You can, this is why I said we need the JSON format. But we have it in here. We link email subject 1 to in here, email 1, subject 2, subject 3, and so on. We have it in here, and you can see it's green, so it's all mapped in within here. And then when you run it, this is what it looks like. Sorry, just come double click on this one. I'll have to change my API key. I had to put it in for this because it didn't work. But once you run this, it shows successful. So it's got a green tick, so you know it's good. So we've actually just contacted our endpoint in here, the URL, and we've pasted those in here. So when we come back in here, we should now have the extra lead in here. So there we go. The treescaping is in here. This is going to update automatically. So the business name is going to be landscaping, is what I put in. And then we come through in here, and it's email 1, email 2, email 3, and subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. So sweet. It's imported into Instantly. Now, if you haven't set up your sequence, please go through my other training video. But it's literally about coming in here, and you can just delete all this, so you can quickly see. This is as easy as it is. And once you have one set up, that's it. Okay, so this is what you get initially. So all I'm going to do is, because we have those subject 1s, subject 2, subject 3s, you can just click on here, and there's going to be a custom variable. Scroll down, there's going to be subject 1, and we're going to add a subject email 1 in. Oops, no, it's down the bottom. I always do this. So click down the bottom, and it's the linking variable in here. And it's going to be email 1, and you can add your own signature in here. If you want to, you write your own signature. First, remember I said we're not going to add signatures in there, so make sure you add signatures. And then you just go through and do number 2. Oops. And here, subject 2. And we'll have the next one in here, and we'll have email 2. Okay, so you can always just preview these, and you'll see how it actually, when the preview, it loads the subject into it. And that's it, right? Everyone is going to be different, so you're going to have different subjects in different emails preloaded all the time. So you don't have to create emails. So you add the 3 in there, it goes into the bucket. Once you run the campaign, every time you add more leads, it's going to do it all in automation. So hope that makes sense. So in summary, this is a massive research tool and email creator campaign automation. And I've banged out about the whole system and how we should build systems that all work together, and I've pasted this little thing in here a few times now from here, so it all works together. It's an all include, and this works for me. It works for other businesses. It's going to do, especially if we can do lead generation through it. All a bunch of tools that work together to create an actual awesome, valuable thing on autopilot. Okay, so let's move this to the side. So we do the research, we write personalized emails, we add it into an email campaign, and it just does this all on autopilot now. So all you have to do is scrape your leads. And again, there's automations for scraping your leads. Put it in the right format, say your sheet is correct, or either way, have it remapped. And this just runs once a day. and it adds in all the emails in there. It runs once a month if you want to do a monthly ones. Customize it for your business or the business you're going to sell this to. Um, and then yeah, it just instantly just does the rest for you. So instantly will build out your campaign. It schedules it out at the right times. It gives you the stats. It gives you the information. It handles the auto replies. Instantly, it's just added a bunch of AI stuff to it. So it actually has a customizable automation AI agent that does the auto replies for it. So kind of almost to the point where you just have to sit back and check your calendar. Okay. There's always going to have to be the human in the loop, and you're going to have to check and monitor all of it. And automations can go wrong, and then it kills a whole lead list as well. So things to think about. So I'm gonna leave all the product links down the bottom. There's some discounts to them all. This is very minimal discounts. I'm not gonna get rich from the discounts. And I'll show you where you can get all these cool automation. You just gotta come to the free resources collection, and there's a bunch of free resources. It's a free group, and in the classroom there'll be some. This module will be in here as well. Literally just a bunch of cool free stuff if you want to go check it out. Um, so I hope you learned something. Hope it made sense. And I hope you enjoyed that. I think this is super valuable. I hope you've learned something on n8n. It's such a powerful tool to use. So go out, go sell AI, go sell AI operating systems. Please do this. Make sure you go check out the lead magnet video to see what this offer should be back, because this is like the one part that you got to build out and add to the other parts. So really cool combination of things. So I hope you had fun. I hope it made sense, and we'll see you all later.